Because Rolex is the most recognizable brand in the luxury watch industry, it is commonly believed that the company manufactures approximately 1 million watches each year. It is estimated that the Rolex brand generated roughly 8.8 billion US dollars in revenue in 2021 and had a significant gap between the next watch brand in rank. It is not a mistake or fluke that the company's watches are consistently in high demand, as evidenced by the fact that it brings in annual revenue of several billion dollars and never stops selling out. To some, they may not be the best brand on the market, but they always find a way to keep their clients interested so that they can continue to purchase their products. In this video, we are going to talk about their sneaky little technique, some of which we may not even be aware that we have fallen for. Welcome to Lex Live, and when it comes to luxury and lifestyle, we've got you covered. And for this video, we are going to talk about some Rolex tricks that will keep customers coming back. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and be the first to check out our latest videos. Now, let's start. Rolex sells more point blank than any other brand. Rolex makes about 1 million watches each year, which is a big difference from competitors like Patek Philippe, which only makes about 62,000 watches each year. Now that we've talked about how things are made, things start to get interesting. Do you know that Patek Philippe watches are much easier to get than Rolexes, even though Patek Philippe only makes 62,000 watches a year, while Rolex makes around 1 million. People can't get enough of the brand because of this strange thing. But first, why are they so popular? This burning question has to do with the company's past. Rolex made the first waterproof wristwatch and the first self-winding wristwatch with a perpetual rotor. The brand takes pride in being a sign of luxury and still does everything it can to make the best watches possible. Most brands have been trying to outdo each other and make the best or most complicated watches. Rolex, on the other hand, has kept to itself and stayed away from being too fancy with their complications, even when it seemed like almost every brand was using sapphire case backs. By keeping its solid cases, Rolex stuck to its policy of not following the crowd. Be simple and reliable was an easy way to market Rolex. The official dealers would just say that they were the world's best buy, and this idea worked well because most watch fans always wanted something different and unique instead of the big, complicated watches that were in the market. It happens because people want the brand so much, which is caused by the brand's marketing. Would you agree if I said that Rolex is seen as a strong sign of status? Take a moment to think about why you agree with that statement at its core. Did the thought of marketing ever cross your mind? Here's why it really should have. Rolex has always advertised itself as a watch worn by the very best of aristocracy. Famous people like the Dalai Lama, Sir Winston Churchill, Dr. Martin Luther King, and John F. Kennedy all had Rolex watches on their wrists. Simply put, this marketing strategy has made so many other important people in society feel like they have to get a Rolex. Even if you don't like watches, people expect you to have a Rolex in your collection if you're rich. Roger Federer, a tennis legend and one of the best players of all time, is another great example of the awesome marketing philosophy. Whenever he wins a match, he always wears his shiny, hard-to-miss Rolex watch and a smile. Before that, though, there was a well-known figure named James Bond. The character in Ian Fleming's second book, Live and Let Die from 1954, wore a Rolex, which wasn't surprising since Fleming himself was known to be a Rolex owner. In the movies, the agent played Sean Connery also wore a beautiful Rolex Submariner, which boosted Rolex's popularity so much that almost every fan of the movie tried to get one to look as classy as Connery. All of these made Rolex popular in every part of society, and the media attention made it even more popular. Endorsements like these show that Rolex continues to be the watch of choice for the very top people in society. Now, if you were an average consumer and you had the chance to buy a watch that a lot of important people in society have, why wouldn't you go out of your way to get it? Now, I know the topic gets more and more interesting from here, but I want to know if you agree with Rolex being a status symbol. Let me know in the comments section below so that we can talk about it. People are hardwired to care deeply about status symbols. Every symbol owner believes they have an objective edge over others. Even if you hate iOS, having an iPhone is often a sign of riches. If you can't afford it, purchase one. Like the iPhone, Rolex symbolizes riches and achievement. Rolex watches don't have to be the best, especially in their price range, to attract buyers. Naturally, it blind taste tests. Some cheap brands taste better than costly ones, but even if everyone knew that, you couldn't compare sales. We'll all spend more on the expensive ones to look better. So in effect, waiting lists return. You can't buy a Rolex at a store. Some waiting lists are so long that it could take years to receive a watch. Why does this happen despite poor supply and demand? Rolex creates 1 million watches a year, but that doesn't match demand. Rolex could create more watches each year, but why? Buzz attracts buyers. Rolex watches are immediately displayed on social media. Since nobody can have the identical watch, Rolex gets free advertisement. Since they're rare, hard to get Rolexes are treasures. Whether you're a Rolex collector or new to luxury watches, having one is a prestige symbol. Being its exclusivity would keep people coming back for it. Only authorized Rolex dealers sell new watches. You can't even buy one online. Selling requires face-to-face contact with an ad. Most individuals believe that the ads won't let someone on the waiting list unless they're on good terms. Instead, only trusted brand lovers are added to the long waiting lists. This may prevent average individuals from selling to flippers, even if you have a contact with an authorized dealer, which usually entails buying the showcase watches. These waiting lists might take a long time, while the lack of watches in demand causes a lot of commotion among enthusiasts. It's a good problem for Rolex because it reinforces the idea that it's exclusive, which is why Rolex would keep getting more and more traction going into ad shops to try the prototype watches that are on display but not for sale, to get a feel for what it would be like to have one, which makes them want one even more. Rolex watches are also amazing in how well they keep their value over time. Years ago, it wasn't unusual for a Submariner to sell for more than what the owner paid for it 20 years ago. Now, that same Submariner can sell for more than what a new one would cost today. If you're one of the lucky ones to have a new Rolex, it's going to take a lot of work to lose money on it. The value and retention makes a Rolex watch a safe investment for many people. It's not a big surprise that people keep coming back to Rolex. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive updates in our latest videos. Also, feel free to leave us a comment. If you want to watch more videos, head on over to our channel to see more from Lex Live. See you!